All right, just wanted to follow up to our picks from last night. Well, we didn't send out a free pick. We sent out the Twitter link because we're going to start trying, in lieu of finding some good daily charts, which are few and far between right now, as far as something that, based on daily candles, has a crystal clear trigger stop. That's kind of tough to find right now, so we're doing a lot of intraday calls in our chat room. And so I'm trying to use Twitter to send out some of these calls at least once a week to give you an idea of what goes on in chat. Unfortunately, like today, ACI was a call that we kind of set up pretty quickly here. I called it over this candle that I'm hovering over. These are 5-minute candles. This is the opening candle. Called it over this candle here, 34.37 in our chat room. I didn't get the tweet out in time, so that I know you didn't get to take advantage of that if you're on our Twitter list. But 34.37 with a stop right at 34, and look what happened. I mean, that thing just launched all the way to 36.07. Huge move there on 30 cents risk, almost $2. So that was a huge one, and I apologize I didn't get that out in time. I try to send them out when they set up and I have a lot of time. They're much easier to get out. So let's see. Didn't get that one. SSN, I'll go over some of them, though, that I did send out. 337, 329. Basically a high of day break here. This is the opening candle. Nice gap up with a high of 336. So 337, 329. Now it only went to 343. And things you don't know unless you're a member of the chat. If we get any kind of move in our favor, especially a 6-cent move on a $3 stock, I'm certainly not going to let that come all the way down to 329 and stop me out, although it looks like the stop held all day now that I look at it. Usually I'll sell a little bit into a pop and go to a break-even stop. So SSN, really just kind of a flat trade there. Never did stop out, which I didn't realize. XLNX, this is an important trading lesson here. 32.73 trigger, 32.52 stop. This is what it looked like when I called it. See these 32.72 highs? Had a nice pop. It's been really strong on the daily lately, up until the market's gotten hit real hard. But it's just like a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago, hit, it looks like 52-week highs. So anyway, back to the call. It had based for a while after this big run. So I called it over this base, basically, 32.73. And look what happened. In 5 minutes, and this is what we call a base below the high of the day. So again, if you weren't a member of the chat room, you wouldn't know how we trade these. But 32.73, you get the base break. We're looking for a high of day break now because the base is close to the high of the day and some continuation. We didn't get it. We usually give these 5 or 10 minutes, in other words, 1 or 2 candles. If they don't work, we'll kill them flat. And so that's what we did in the chat room, killed it flat. I'm working on an idea on these that we're going to be working on in chat. When you get a base break and you don't get the high of day break, looking to short the first break of a previous 5's low. Now, I didn't call it as such in chat today, but look what would have happened. Great short there. In other words, we bought the base break. We're looking for a high of day break. Once we don't get it, it's kind of a letdown, and the stock's probably, since it didn't get the high of day break, probably going to head the other way. It was a flat trade, but it could have been a nice short. So something to think about in the future when we have a base break with a high of day to the left and you don't get the follow through we're looking for. Nothing wrong with reversing position, although I didn't make that an official call today. TLCR, I ended up canceling because someone in our chat room right after I called it over this base here, which it never did break anyway. So it didn't trigger. I called it over this little base. I thought it might run to the high of the day. Somebody said, hey, that's a buyout. It's already been announced or something. So once I found that out, I just canceled the trade. As you saw if you followed us on Twitter. HGSI, called it over this little base right here. Couple highs here at 27.54. So 27.55 I thought might get us through the high of the day. It did, but only went to 27.64. Another scenario where you didn't get the break, so no reason to hang on. We gave it 5 minutes. Basically a flat trade in the chat room. And look what it did. Later in the day, it just kind of ripped, but it ripped without me. But a flat trade. Tried SSN again. Now this one was just unfortunate. It was basing nicely below the high of the day. So I called it again at 339 with a 335 stop. Now it's only 4 cents risk. Look what happens. There's the 339, and right after this, and there's no controlling this, right after this trigger, the market ripped to new lows. So it took everything with it, and then later ends up ripping through the high of the day. So you can be right in the market. You can be right and still lose money, and that's what happened with SSN. Again, just a few cent loss, though, and didn't do anything with it after that. And then EXC, we put on long watch is all I could put out on the tweet because it just these occur and set up so quickly that there's literally no way I could have announced the trigger and stop it. Well, that's yesterday's. Anyway, once you have a stock that's down like this, big push down, another push down, and then another push down, that's what we call a potential final push down. I like the volume on this push, possible capitulation, and the daily was down here, down to recent lows. Very small odds that it's going to go all the way down like this and then rip through these lows as well. So that was the place to look for a bounce. If you were in our chat, you'd know we called this over this candle at 39.24. Worst case stop 39.05. So less than 20 cents risk, and from 39.24 made it almost all the way to 40. Excuse me. So a real nice trade in there. A lot of people in chat took advantage of that. By the time I put out the second tweet when we were in it, probably too late. It was 2:26 in the afternoon. So it was probably, it was already a little bit too late for non-chat room members. But we did let you know it was on long watch when it looked like this. Had that potential final push down look. And I love that trigger here, stop here, very low risk. So I'm kind of impaired on how much I can do through Twitter, and I apologize for that. EXC I wouldn't expect, just because we put it on long watch, anyone on our free picks list to have taken advantage or known how to trade that. So again, forgive me, bear with me. It's not all a quick play like this isn't conducive to me being able to put out a trigger and stop in time for anyone to take advantage of it. So just as an after the fact teaching tool though, that's how we played this on this potential final push down break of this 5-minute candles high. That stair step look, increasing volume, already down huge on the day, coupled with all the way down here at recent, not recent, but at a place where it bounced off of before. After a sell-off like that, you should always be thinking long, not short. And this gave a beautiful setup using 5-minute candles. So anyway, that's what I have from the day. I did call a short on SHAW today too as well in our room. Right below this candle here at 33.29 and the worst case stop above that candle. Let me get my drawing tool going here. Did call a short for our members in here, right there, and a worst case stop right there. Stop never got hit, so from get that off there. From the short call at 33.29, it actually made it all the way down to 32.22 on a pretty tight stop as well. Anyway, I'm going to quit babbling. I'll try the Twitter experiment again next week one day. And I'm still looking. If I find a daily chart that offers me a crystal clear trigger and stop based on daily candles, look for that in your inbox because I'll still send out that kind of free pick. But in the meantime, this Twitter experiment's kind of fun, although a little bit difficult for some of the trades we have. So doing what I can, and I wouldn't mind if you want to email me, your feedback on it. I wouldn't mind hearing what you guys think of the Twitter idea, and I know I can refine it, but in the meantime, I'm doing what I can. So anyway, have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.